Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of GC, the vanilla server. I'm spending most of my time lately hanging out with the cows. Thanks to the cows, and thanks to Hatman, so much steak. Right, I think you know what I'm going to show you. Going on last episode, I've been rather busy, so let's go check it out. Again, you've got to use your imagination for a fair bit of this, but I think I'm making progress. It's alright, I'm getting a basic shape down. Started a tower and just started this one. And this one is so much easier since there's a mountain here. Got to like just sculpt it rather than building it entirely. But yes, just trying to work out what I'm doing. I want the main part of this bit when you walk in for the towers to be here, and it just feels epic. You know what I mean? Like you want to walk in and think, ooh. So what I was thinking of doing is there's going to be a second tier. I've decided a second tier of seats that hangs down somewhere. Now obviously this first tier has to have a gap in it for the walkway in, but the second tier doesn't have to have that, so it'll be pretty much a mirror image of this. Might be a little bit more open and a lot steeper so you can see down, so it's not going to be half slab deals like this, it's going to be full blocks or stairs. But the second tier will wrap around and connect to these towers. Now in order to finish this off, I was thinking of doing like an archway. I don't know how high yet, but it's going to be similar to this, where there's the recessed stone. So you'll have the recessed wood, sorry. So you'll have the three, let's call them fingers of stone going over, and then sunk in by one block the wood as well. Now the reason there's these gaps is I'm going to, once the towers are finished, have some water running down. I think water looks good, and with the colours that I've ended up using, quite neutral colours, I think the water will just set it off a little. So yes, that's where we're at. I've had to move this friggin' area twice now. It used to be there, then I moved it there. No, it was more here because these were getting in the way. It was getting in the way of putting these seats in. So now I've put it there. Luckily, it just misses. So I think I can leave it there. Saying that, the idea I've had for getting to the second tier is around, say around here somewhere. There's going to be a walkway that curls up the side of the tower. It's not going to touch it. There'll be a block gap. But it'll go up like a scroll in a way. It'll spiral around. Now that means that this is in the way, so I'm probably going to have to move it again. But those sort of things are going to be a long way off, and I want an eventual storage area what's going to stay here. So for like repairs or anything like that. And obviously I'm not going to leave it there. It's going to be probably under the stand somewhere, or just under this walkway, because all this is going to be filled in some way. I don't know if it's going to be a bridge or I don't know yet. But it's going to be somewhere that's hidden but easy to get to. It might be like under the floor itself, under the obsidian. I don't know. But yes, all we're going to do today, I say all, is continue with these seats. And something else I've learned is that this place is an absolute death trap. Yes, an absolute death trap when the sun goes down. So I'm hoping, because I'm on with Snickers, we seem to have an understanding in a minute that once the sun goes down, that we sleep. Now, from what he was saying earlier, though, he's looking at recording a video of a challenge of going into a mine shaft, so he might be out doing that because he's been quiet for the last few minutes. So we'll see. No. Sleep. Mr. Snickers, can we sleep? Yay! Right, there we go. Good. Creeper, right there. Oosh. So yeah, this is the problem though. I like that the mountains are here, and it does kind of border it nicely, but I'm thinking that it's going out a lot further than I expected, so I'm having to cut out a lot more of the mountain than I would want to. And am I going to be able to show you this easily? Don't clear the mountain, just on top. Oh, that was bad. The mountain's not as deep as I thought it was. You know what I mean? You hit this on the other side pretty quickly. And on how this is looking, a lot of this mountain will have to come out. Now, the thing is though, is that anything that overhangs the seats has got to come out, so all this has to be removed. But there is going to be the second tier, which will overhang, similar to how that is already. I mean, I don't know how much, but if it does come out, this mountain, like if it comes out beyond what this mountain is, then that's going to be a lot of work to get rid of, and I'll lose all of this. Unless I have like the roof of the second tier is built into this, so all this part up here, which I highly doubt the arena's going to get this high, can be left. I don't know. That's way off. We'll worry about that later on. But yeah, I'm liking how it's looking. It's looking alright. So we should continue with these. Also, just talk about some stuff as we do it. So first things first, I'm not worrying about taking all of this out. I'm just carving out like a small corridor every time I need it. So that's what we'll do. But yeah, things to talk about. It seems to be going alright on the whole video front. One of my videos especially, it's a Feed the Beast one. I was looking last night. It's got a lot more views than anything else. I think it's up to, it might be touching 80 views now, which I know in the grand scheme of things it's nothing worth like talking about. But compared to the rest of my videos, it's a lot more on average for what it is. Now, it's the first part of the Twilight adventure thing we did, and the other 3 parts aren't as popular, shall we say, or they've not got as many views. Now, I know that's how it works. Some people will view the first part of a small series, which is what that was, and if they don't like it, they'll not watch the rest of it. I totally get that. But the only reason I think it is because of what I named it. It's about us taking on the bosses, because it puts in place what we are doing, and that was what we did. We went into the Twilight and searched for the bosses and tried to get them all. Didn't necessarily work, but I think I'm being called up in a YouTube search when people are searching for Twilight bosses, and that's coming up, and people are thinking it's some sort of, not a tutorial, but something they can get some info out of, which if they are doing, great. But oh, not thinking. It's just made me start wondering what actually gets the most traffic, and it does make sense that something that has information you might need would have more views. I mean, I know that's what I do. If I need to know something, what would be better to see rather than read, you just jump on YouTube and search. Not sure what I'm doing with that yet. I'll come back to that later. So it's made me think about not necessarily doing tutorials, but doing more like informative videos, I guess. So yeah, That might be something I do, it might not be, I don't know yet. We'll see what 1.5 brings, because I like my redstone, even though I've not really touched it lately. And 1.5 being the redstone update is going to change like quite a lot of things. So it might be worth putting one out just to explain some stuff, you know, with the comparators and things like that. But I don't know, don't quote me on this. Probably won't happen, but it's just something to explore one day, I guess. Oh no, it's dark. What else can we talk about? Snickers doing videos. If you haven't checked him out, please do. Funny guy. He's only got a handful of videos up, but all the more reason to check him out. Give him some incentive to not there. Give him some incentive to carry on. Like I said, he's just been talking now about doing one, so go and watch it. Yes, I might have to change some things at the end of this row, because it's going to be hitting that tower. Like I said, I want to run a walkway around it at some point. Are we full? Yes, we're full. Much later on. So these might change, so I might just leave these open-ended at the minute. You know, it would be like that, I suppose. At least that's alright. We'll worry about this later. No, I'm trapped. We'll just work on getting the shape down. The other thing I'm not sure about yet is I don't know how far to take this one out. Because it's going up in half slabs, it's not getting as steep. And it's making it that you can't see like the very edge, especially if you're up close. If you're like down here, you've not got much view of what's going on down there, which is why the second tier needs to be much steeper. Because otherwise, I mean, you can imagine if you're looking out, you effectively get that view, I suppose, a bit like that. That's no good. But yeah, I'm worrying about things that are miles off, so let's not. Stuff going on the server. There's plans for things to be built. Like I said, the game town, which is what this is part of. Just a small bit of this mineshaft. Did you die? Of course he didn't die. Yeah, that's bad. I've lost my train of thought. Yes, we're working on the game town now, mainly. I feel like a coward. Sorry, yeah, he's doing the challenge where you go in a mine shaft with minimal things like wooden sword, things like that. So I'm definitely watching that when he uploads it. But the game town, people are adding games to it, funnily enough. But now Dash was saying she wants to do a mall, a shopping centre, whatever you want to call it, depending on where you're from. And that's cool. She wants to do it where the archery range currently stands, and there's a lot of area there, so that works. Because the impression I was getting is she wants to have quite a big build to work on. Guess similar to what I'm doing here, something to what you can always come back to, and you know is going to be here to work on. Because I know, like talking to Snickers recently, it's very easy to lose motivation when you've not got a project going. And it is. I mean, of course it is. If you're walking around like scratching for things to do, and you end up just doing little builds here and there, you're not really putting anything into them. Whereas if you can say, like with me, I'm going to build an arena, a stadium, and it's going to be one of the biggest builds I've ever done, and blah 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 blah. I mean, like I don't think I've left here at all, except just to get resources. And I went to see Snickers, that's about it. I've not really left here, which tells its own story. But that was the plan, so yay. Also, on a plus side, because the building of this is like the majority is carving mountains out and digging, it's kind of providing its own resources in a way. Like, you can see coal. A lot of what I've got here is the mountain itself repurposed, which is good, obviously. I mean, on builds of this scale, that's the real drawback for me. Oh, is getting the resources. So, I mean, we were talking of doing. I was talking with Hatman, like what materials to make this out of, and we did think of doing it out of nether brick when 1.5 makes it that we can make nether brick. Now, oh, I need this coal actually. But with the color scheme I've gone with, yeah, this is gonna be weird, isn't it? Oh well, can always take it out. Oh god, the color scheme. I don't know if like a really deep red would really work. So he's in the mine shaft, and I'm guessing he's not got a bed. Guessing you can't sleep then. I could do with it, because like I said, this. Making a bed. Good. Very good. This is when I see a creeper just come in out of frame and destroy everything. Not to tempt fate, but I've not had that yet. I've been lucky so far. In. There we go. And go. This is the problem. They spawn and they stay spawned because of all this damn shadow. So I think this is what I needed. Like I said, it does help you. It does get better at the game all around. I mean, I don't want that. What was that? Because everyone at some point, it seems, has built or is building something big. I mean, Hatman made his big wall, which I believe is finished, which I haven't checked out yet. Dash with her island. Madsen with his big kingdom thing. Sticker's doing something very similar. A really big, yeah, that's not going to work. I'll stop mentioning that. Cross with his water temple. You know, anyone basically has got something big going now. My base is going to be a big project, but it's going to be something I add to over time, whereas this is just one big thing. I think I've got it right. I mean, anything what's round in Minecraft is always going to be awkward. Minecraft doesn't like circles, as you know. A recent addition is... yes, I get it, Snickers, don't worry. I've added this just to round off the edge a little, because this was full blocks of brick. And it did make it look a bit bulky. Now I was going to do something similar to this, but now that I've carried on with this shape, I won't be able to do this rounded corner thing on all of them. Could do it there, but it'll end up making this look real narrow. I think it's alright at the minute. As for much future editions, I want to have some sort of, I guess, a scoreboard, if that's possible. So I mean, there's 4 teams, so you could have something up there. really don't know. That's miles off yet. So that's that part finished. Actually, that might look better if I just round that off, the seats there, but yeah, again, much later. This bit's going to be fun. But I also want to put lighting in somehow. I mean, the torches are cool in places. I mean, I think they work like on the edge of those, on the edge of the openings, but in order to fully light this place so that things don't spawn, it's going to have to be absolutely scattered in torches, which is all well and good, but I think it then gets like a little bit messy. I mean, if you put them in a place where you say, right, I'm going to put one there, I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to repeat that pattern, then fine. But you end up just like throwing them out everywhere, and it gets a little bit messy, and I don't like that. So I'm going to build the thing first, or get the basics down, and decide where I can get some lamps in. I mean, like there could work. Don't think it'd be a problem powering it from underneath. But I think that'd look better than just torches scattered around. So, I mean, I also want it to look good at night. Because I mean, things of this scale, if you do them right and you light them right, it can look much more impressive at night. And anyway, this area, like it's in shadow now, but when the second tier's on, it's going to be similar to how this is, so it's going to have to be lit anyway, I guess. I mean, this is just simple stuff now. I mean, the design's down for these seating areas, so it's just going around and repeating it basically. As for Feed the Beast, I guess I can talk about that on here. I've not really been on it recently. It seems to be a resurgence of vanilla. I might drop some of this stuff off. From the people, from our people on this server. It seemed to be that Feed the Beast was like new and exciting, so everyone went there. But now it's kind of, its novelty's worn off in a way. Throw them in here. Now, that's not to say it's dead or anything like that, but I just think the majority of us anyway are more, we like vanilla more. I mean, like I was talking to Hattie about it, and we were saying how it's good, but it hits a point where it seems overpowered and far too easy to do things, which I guess is why you've got all this Greg tech stuff going off to try and slow that down. But again, once you've got there, it's not a problem. Now, vanilla never really gives you that. I mean, there are some things that work like in that sense, like the ender farm. But to make that thing, it's not like crafting a one block machine and getting materials. I mean, I wasn't involved in making it, but I know what is involved with making it, and it's not easy. I mean, a while ago now, Madsen was talking about upgrading it to make it more efficient, even though it's fine now. You can make it better. I believe he died doing it and lost all his lost all his materials doing so. Vanilla really makes you work for things that make your life easier on here, I guess. Whereas Feed the Beast just like gives you a price and says get what you need, and then you're sorted forever. Which is basically how it is. I know it is the whole like I was talking to doing nuclear power and things like that, but there's no need. You're just making things more difficult for yourself because you're looking for something to do, really, I guess. And Feed the Beast for me doesn't seem to have a sense of community now. That's not just on here. well, not on here, but with those guys, with any of them, Minecraft, any of them, they don't seem to have a great deal of community. I know people are going to disagree with that, but it's just how it seems for me. I mean, like the arena on Minecraft, there's no way that's going to be built on Feed the Beast, because no one really hangs out together, and there's no real events that I've seen. Like I said, I could be wrong with this, but Vanilla's more simple, but in its simplicity it requires more of you, if that makes sense. I think it makes sense. And that's my pet peeve, doing this. You hit one of the stairs and your blocks freak out. But yeah, I don't want this video to be too long of me just doing the same thing over and over. I just wanted to get a feel, well, give you guys a feel of what it's like making this thing. And I might actually call it there. I'll just explain what I'm going to do next, because you don't want to see me doing these seating areas all day. So I'm going to finish off up to this level, which is 10 increments. Now I don't know if that's enough. I mean, that's the top seat in this tier. Might go beyond it, I don't know yet. Boy, Snickers. So I'm going to continue that all the way around, so it's all at the same height. Work more on these towers. Work out exactly what I'm going to do where the seats meet with this bit. Might have a gap and just have them like spiraling off a little, because again, the walkway will start here, go upwards, and then curve around. It might hit the seats anyway, so the seats will have to move. Yeah, so that's the next thing. So that's my progress. Quite happy with how it's turning out. Hope you guys are too. If you have any suggestions, let me know, or anything like that, of what we can do to make it better. And I'm also thinking like well ahead of what sort of games we can have, or events, let's call it that. You know, is it worth putting something in now because it'll be easier to do than when it's finished, and things like that. So yeah, any suggestions or any ideas, let me know. And as night sets in and the death trap awakes, I'll catch you guys. Spider? No. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.